Hey everybody, it's a beautiful day here in paradise in Boquete, and you're listening to Radio Cherokee 103.3. And this is the weekend kickoff with me, Mike Schwartz.
And me, Patrick Reynolds. Good morning.
Good morning, and we're going to be talking, as we always do, about music,
Events, fun, food,
things going around in the BCP. We have a very special guest today, Patrick.
Yeah.
He's the Jefe, the man in charge.
El Lobo.
In just 1 month from now, we have
man.
one of the biggest music events to hit Boquete.
It's a marquee event.
Anywhere.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
man. This is an amazing thing.
One of the
that's gonna
things that
happen.
drew me here to Boquete. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But let's introduce our guest, John Wolf, the leader of the Boquete Jazz and Blues Festival. Welcome to the
John.
weekend
Welcome.
kickoff.
Thank you very much. How am I going to live up to that introduction? My goodness.
Wow, you do every year. You know,
Your
every
legend
year that there's a
precedes you.
festival.
Yes.
I'm a legend in my own mind.
Yes. As are we all.
So, John, you're going to have to fill us in. We, because of the pandemic, the festival had a couple of bumps to go over.
Not just the festival. I don't know anybody personally that did not go through something. That
Oh,
does not
for
have
sure,
a story on
for
the
sure.
pandemic.
Absolutely.
And of course, the festival is one of those things, and we were not able to. We haven't been able to have a festival since 2020.
Wow.
February of
Right.
2020 was our last one.
Yeah.
We decided in February. We decided in February that we were going. No, I'm sorry, in September that we were going to do one.
Okay.
Okay. And even though they had not lifted the COVID restrictions, we were going to try to do something. We came up. We talked to the Panamonte. They agreed that we could do something in their garden, which is, if anybody's ever been to the festival, the garden party.
Oh,
Beautiful
yeah, it's
venue.
beautiful,
We've been
absolutely.
to the garden party in past years, and they put on a great show there. Nice
absolutely.
stage. It's
Yeah.
such a wonderful atmosphere in a garden. It's a real garden party.
It is beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous. And we were leaving. It was September 14th. We just left talking we talked to the mayor, we talked to the Panamonte, and we were on our way back to where I don't live here in Boquete. I live
Right.
I live in the mountains north of Coronado. And we were on our way back, and we got an announcement that they lifted the COVID restrictions.
Ah,
Well,
sweet.
you must have been the happiest man on the face of the earth.
Very happy in a way, and then we've had the 3 years of being shut down. My
Yeah.
brain rusted.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we've got a year's worth of work to do in 4 months or 5 months.
And that's a much shorter lead time than normally, right?
Yeah, it was. It's been and has been a challenge, but we have a great team. We've
Yeah.
got a fabulous team working with us.
You do.
Debbie Wilson, Sheila Strunk.
She's fantastic, yeah.
Dee Dee Beisden, Eric Dubois. We've got a whole bunch of people
All
working
right,
with us.
John, let's set the stage for people that may not be familiar with the Blues and Jazz Festival. I know there are so many people that attend, every year that there is one. It really is one of the things that attracted me so much to Boquete, because who would think that a little mountain town in Panama would have a premier blues and jazz festival right there, right here. You can come see some of the best performers in the world in these musical fields. So why don't you tell us, this year, for instance, who's going to be performing?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to put.
You had to be prepared, John.
You're asking me details.
Didn't know you were
Well,
going to bring
look at
that
that.
on.
Well,
huh?
you- picture.
Do you want to talk about your garden, or do you want to talk about the Blues and Jazz Festival?
No, we definitely have. And again, back to the history of what it was that happened, we decided that we were going to do something relatively small initially.
Right.
So we picked up a lot of local bands. Okay, we've got Adam Reach is going to be there.
That's great.
We've got a bunch of people that are going to perform at the festival that under normal circumstances we wouldn't have been able to schedule them in.
Right.
Now, then they went ahead and opened the country out of the COVID restrictions. We went and got Mr. Sip. If anybody remembers
Mr. Sip
from
will blow your
Mississippi.
mind. He
Mr.
is
Sip. Yeah.
an amazing
Great
performer.
blues performer.
Absolutely.
We've got JP Soares. if
Okay.
you guys
Yeah,
know
he's
JP
fantastic.
Soares.
Yeah.
And we've got Carlos Castellega. We've got Lance Anderson that's coming with. He's doing a tribute to Ray Charles.
Oh,
Nice.
that's fantastic.
We've got Sheila Quint, who's coming. Sheila is just an amazing voice. We've got about 5 groups coming out of Canada.
Okay.
You know, the music is now one thing that we did. One of the things that I did was tried to stay with trios, because that means less airline tickets, less hotel rooms.
Right. Oh, that's a
Okay.
smart move.
And,
Yeah.
you know, even though the fees are not significantly different,
Yeah.
but the overhead in order to do this is better with the trio.
Right.
And so you're going to see a lot of trios. You're going to three big blues trios. Again, Mr. Sip, J.P. Soares, and Albert Castillega.
Yeah.
Albert's going to be here.
Yeah,
I saw him in Florida before. He was a band playing. I took the legendary rhythm and blues cruise,
Yes.
and he was playing. They had a party before the cruise left that year. I think it was 2007, maybe 8. And he was the band playing. Amazing performer.
Oh,
really,
these guys are.
really
And if
good.
you look them up, I mean,
Yeah.
go to YouTube and take a look
absolutely.
at some of their performances.
Yeah.
Of course, Mr. Sip has been here before. J.P. Soares plays with Ann Harris, Deanna Bogart, the whole group.
And Deanna's going to be here, right?
Well, Deanna's going to be right across the border.
Oh.
Okay, we were late. Okay,
Oh,
like I
okay.
said, we decided
Okay.
to do this when I decided that we were going to go with some of the bigger top name musicians. It was already September,
Okay.
and Deanna and Tommy Castro were booked
that's bad.
right
I see.
across the border.
Yeah.
In
Okay?
Costa Rica.
In Costa
Yeah.
Rica.
Ah.
And we tried like crazy to see if we could figure out a way to get, because they're playing Saturday night. Oh, wow. And I wanted to get them here for the show on Sunday, but it was so complicated and there were so many moving parts.
wow. Oh,
and
yeah.
then they're trying to get them, we got to get them back to San Jose to be able to get their flight
Okay.
out.
So close, but yet so
Yeah,
far.
but they'll be here in spirit, and
Yeah.
and like I said, we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful show. We're at the garden party.
Yeah.
You would only have 3 groups a day.
Yeah.
We're having 5.
5.
Okay, we're starting at 11 and we're going till 5 in the afternoon.
Fantastic.
And you're it's not, there's no one you're going to be on stage long enough for you to get bored.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, we're rolling them over really quick. And some of the sets are 45-minute sets. Some of the sets are 50-minute sets. The closing guys, Albert, Mr. Sip, and J.P. Soares, they're doing a 60-minute set.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So it will be very good. And then of course we got the jams.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we start jams on Thursday night.
Okay.
And we will do a jam on Thursday night, which is being headed by J.P. Soares.
Okay.
Okay. And then we've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday is going to Thursday night's jam is at Mesa Azul.
Mesa Azul.
With,
Okay.
Thanks to Chris Young, who really worked
Sure.
well with us.
Oh, yeah.
And the sponsor of this show from Big Daddy's.
Yeah, there
yeah.
you go.
Grill, Boom Boom Chicken.
Yes.
That's all you have to say is Boom Boom
Boom
Chicken.
Boom.
Everybody knows. You know, it's Big Daddy's sponsors the weekend
next day,
kickoff.
which is St. Patrick's Day, the jam is going to be at Tap Out.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and
Cool.
the day after that, it will be at Paramonte.
Okay.
And Sunday,
Oh, great venues. Really good
Sunday
venues
we're
for
closing
the jam.
at Valle del Rio.
Oh, okay.
Which we did in 2020.
Yeah.
Which turned out to be a really
So
spectacular
nice,
event. Yes,
yeah.
it was.
Yeah, John Carney and Yelba Heaton were playing. I remember that. That was
We had
fabulous.
there were.
Are you having those are evening jams? Do you have morning jams?
We
still?
have open mic. In the
Open
morning.
mic in the morning.
That's right.
Oh,
And
that's
we're
so
gonna-
cool.
Friday morning is going to be at Casa Vieja.
Casa Vieja. Okay.
Saturday morning it's going to be at Big Daddy's.
All right.
And Sunday morning it will be at Valle del Rio.
Okay, so just to explain to any musicians in the area, you can come and play at those open mics, right? And some of the musicians from the festival might be there, might
they
be
will be
hanging
there.
around,
Yeah,
will be there
absolutely.
playing, and you can join in. It's so much fun. I've done it in the past. That's actually how I got connected to John Weeks, who I'm so thankful to be playing with at the festival this year. And that was at Colibri. When it was Colibri, you had a morning jam there.
that
It
was Sunday
a
morning.
beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful venue and a nice place, and it was great to meet so many musicians. In the evening jams are for the musicians from the festival. Unless
you do something spectacular at the open mic.
unless you get invited,
You
get
get
invited.
invited.
Oh, my.
Yeah, you might.
And don't think that doesn't happen.
Oh, it
that's how,
happens,
that's
yeah.
how John Carney got in. That's how
Really?
Maramania got in.
Oh, wow.
That's,
Oh,
that's,
wow.
That's
Wow.
how those that you sit down. Oh, we've got. Oh God, I'm having a brain. failure. With a great harmonica player he played with Lee Oscar.
Lee Oscar.
Oh, Lee Oscar, yeah. He played with Lee Oscar.
Yeah, Scott. Geez, I'm having a problem.
Oh, Scott from
Coronado.
Yeah, Coronado. Scott, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's Scott.
Scotty.
Scotty. I'll walk out of here and remember exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But I sat there and I listened. The guy from Alemania had a little tiny trumpet, and he came out and he started playing, and I was like, "Holy smokes!"
Oh, so that's how they got to the festival too?
What do you think I'm gonna? You're gonna look for a Cuban-sewn Latin jazz band. Where are you gonna go? Cuba? Miami?
I met those guys the year that they played, or at least one year that they played here, and they were so much fun. I look forward to it. And what a
Minnesota.
great band. I know, they're from Minnesota.
Where are you going to go to? You're going to go to Minnesota looking for a Latin jazz band.
I don't know how you find these people when you found them.
That's how we found
great.
them. It was at an open mic.
Well, they were amazing. They're good. They're good. And actually, they borrowed some of my drum equipment, and we had a great time.
And again, there's 13 people. So we talk about the trios.
That's a big band.
When you're trying to get somebody out of Minnesota to Panama, and there's 13 of them.
Not so easy.
I know. It was a challenge for the host. Remember the hosts?
Oh, the band host?
Because it couldn't fit 13 people in one car. It takes like 3 cars.
You've been a band host a couple times.
I've been a band host a few times. I've done security, band host. I'm working my way up. You know.
Who did you host when you had them?
Oh, I heard. I hosted the Nighthawks the last time. They were great. They were great. I'll tell you a funny story about the Nighthawks because they were all, they're a little bit older. So I said to them, "All right, let's form a group in WhatsApp so we can keep in touch." And they were like, "What's WhatsApp? What is that? We don't have that. We don't know what that is." So but they were great. They were fantastic. Wow, I can't even remember. Before I'm having the same.
No,
way,
it's like we had the black and white party last night. Okay. Of course, I was the last one to leave.
Of course you were.
And I think I killed 500,000 brain cells at that party.
Well, you weren't using those brain cells anyway.
Yeah,
those were
useless.
extras.
Those are
Nobody needs those. The entertainment last night was fantastic. Who's playing at the bar there?
That was Luz Acosta and Carlos Campos. Actually, a very interesting group. Luz and Carlos are married.
Okay,
so they're a couple. On the drums was his son.
Oh.
And on the vocals was their daughter.
Oh, wow.
So it was a family
affair.
Oh.
But Luz Acosta and Carlos Campos both play with Patricia Perez, Patricia Sorat, part of the Danilo Perez foundation. And they were, the last time I saw them was in fact at the Panama Jazz Festival on their closing. I think it's a closing Sunday that they had, and these people are so talented. I mean, they're so good, and they were all over the place musically. You saw we were getting some rock, and then we were getting some Latin jazz, and then we were
Oh, that's great.
They were fantastic. People were up there dancing. I mean, it's not hard to get people on the dance floor. Here in this town.
That's the best thing as a musician.
I've never seen so many tuxedos on a dance floor and gowns in my life.
This was a dress-up deal.
Everybody
was all elegant and dressed up, tuxedos and everything else. And I was telling the story earlier on with we're planning the black and white party, and I shouldn't be saying this on the radio, but I'm sitting having a couple of drinks at my house, and I'm thinking about the black and white party, and it's like, oh hell, what am I going to wear? So I go on to Amazon after a couple of drinks. And I found party jackets. And if you guys want to go to our Amazon, look up party
jackets. Okay.
Oh, my God.
What is a party jacket?
Oh, these are these real embroidered and glitter jackets that, So I bought 5 of them.
Cool.
Are
you starting a mariachi band now? Is that what's happening here?
Well, half the guys last night walking around are my jackets.
Definitely.
So,
that was fun.
And it was beautiful. The girls were elegant and
gorgeous.
It was lovely.
Absolutely.
And then Charlie Collins, and I want to special thank you, Charlie Collins, because the food was spectacular.
Yeah.
And there were 75 people. They fed 75 people, and usually when you're going to get a service of that many people, something's not going to work.
Right.
Right.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
The food was hot. The food was fresh. It
Excellent.
was really, really well
Yeah,
done.
he's
They
a
did good
magnificent
job.
chef.
He is.
Absolutely.
Okay, my brain has started working again. I want to send a shout out to the band from Norway, JT Lauritzen.
Oh,
and
okay.
Because I was driving them around too, the Buckshot Hunters, which I think is a strange name, because they all look like Vikings. These guys, and they are the friendliest group of people.
They're all Danish. And
They're Norwegian. They're from
they're
Norway.
actually, I think, well, maybe they're living out of there, but I believe they're Danish.
Really?
Because we were talking, I'm Danish. My
Oh, no
background is
kidding.
Danish. So I thought we were all sitting there like, hey, cousins. And
Oh, okay.
Oh.
These guys are my size. I'm kind of a big guy.
Yeah.
They are. That
yeah.
is the largest collective band.
Well, I became friends with John, the drummer, from because he's like your size. He looks like a Viking, and we were joking around about the resemblance of the band to Vikings.
Yeah.
And well, I know they're out of Norway now. Maybe they are
That we
Danish.
get
I
the
don't
guy
know.
Adam Reach is around here somewhere. Adam Reach could clear that up. for
Oh
us.
yeah, he
Yeah.
could. Yeah.
Yeah, we just need a map of
The world.
the world.
I don't know where I am. But you guys mentioned the term paradise earlier, and I got to say, this is a music paradise. The venues are fantastic. The musicians are incredible. The good times are never ending. And it's like getting together, having a party, a reunion with all your friends, and then the best musicians you can get your hands on,
The first time I came to Boquete, I talked to Hans Lebauser, who was
Right.
who is the one that created the festival in its current iteration. Okay?
Right.
He's responsible for that. And Nancy Mendez and Antonio Singh were the ones that actually started it in about 2007.
Okay.
And Hans got a hold of it and added blues to the recipe. And he was calling me because I was doing some stuff in Panama City. And it's like, okay, well, are you interested? I'm like, I can't make it work in Panama City. There's no way it's going to work in Boquete. Okay? But I'll come. And I came.
Okay.
And my God, what a fantastic event. I think it has to do with the town of Boquete, the people in Boquete.
Yeah.
And then even in those days, I think Andy Agart was the headliner.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we had like 300 people. That was the maximum number of people that we had. But I fell in love.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved it. And Hans did it in 2012, 2013. Bob Applegate did it in 2014. Hans and I and Shearston did it in 2015.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And then everybody quit. Okay.
Well, that does happen here.
Well, it's really
You get burned
stressful.
out, but
Yeah.
you've been doing it from 2016.
I've been doing it from actually 2015, but
2015
by myself. 2016.
Wow,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah.
Kudos to you, really, for putting on a great show. I came here in 2016. I missed that festival, but I've been to every other one, and I'm just amazed. A great festival, great atmosphere. You put on a great show, and you make it very comfortable for the visitors, for the audience.
We
members.
are famous among musicians, and this is it really gets hard to get a musician with a band, a well-known band, to come to Boquete. It's like, who? What? That was the way it was originally.
Yeah.
But we have, usually when you're performing at a festival in the States, you come in, you do your act, and you leave.
Right.
Okay, we bring everybody in on Tuesday.
Okay.
And they stay for the entire festival.
Okay.
And then they leave on Monday.
All right.
So it's really kind of a vacation. And we open with the musicians' dinner. So we get all the musicians in one place at a time and feed them a lot of wine and a lot of good food. And they get to know each other if they don't already know each other. And then we allow people, the bands, to invite other band members from other bands to come up on stage and play with them. So it kind of becomes a jam. Well, the musicians are having fun. And when the musicians are having fun, everybody else has fun.
Oh,
Bingo.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
One year, when the year I was doing security, I got a dream job, really. Doing security in the green room where the musicians eat. And let me tell you, you put out a great spread.
Oh.
I think you put out like breakfast, lunch, and dinner
Breakfast,
for
lunch,
the
and dinner,
musicians.
and some of the best music that you're going to hear at the festival is going to be in the green room.
Oh,
Yeah,
you hear
yeah,
it.
that's
because
true.
everybody's sitting around with their instruments.
And let me tell you, they're
they
so
start jamming.
friendly and so. I mean, I was a security guard, but I'm also a musician, so I love talking music with these great musicians from these fantastic bands, and it was just a great experience for me. You know, I'm not gonna I shouldn't tell you this now, but I would have paid you to do that job. I was a volunteer, but
you know,
I was happy to be there.
Yeah.
That's the other part of the other component of the festival here is there are so many volunteers, so many people willing to put their time.
You
Right.
get a lot of volunteers from Boquete.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We got a crack team of photographers together.
We do.
Gonna
Right,
be there
Patrick is
shooting
one of
the
the
entire
photographers.
Event, and you know, if you're going to be at the jazz festival, you're going to be in front of my lens.
In 2014, I was a photographer.
Oh man, you guys did everything.
Yeah,
Everything has changed.
And he cooked the meals.
2014, he did everything.
He
himself.
made all the dinners.
I did. I started. I was
Washed
a
the
driver.
dishes.
I was driving the bands around like you were talking
Oh,
about,
no
picking them up
kidding.
and taking
No
them
kidding.
to eat.
Yeah.
And then I was a photographer.
And it's taken a toll because John's only 37.
rode hard and put up wet.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll tell you, John. One of the things I don't remember what year it was, but normally you have very good weather for the festival.
Yeah.
So you're sitting out, you know, maybe in the shade, you know, somewhere. You find a spot. You're listening to great music. But this one year, one day, what a downpour there was. Do you remember
was that?
that?
At the garden party?
No,
that was at Valle.
Yeah.
I was there.
That was in the what's it called? The
amphitheater.
The amphitheater. Yeah, amphitheater.
Valle
Oh yeah,
Escondido.
I remember that. And as
Yeah.
a matter of fact, it was the war. The Lowrider Band. was
Yes.
playing.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yes.
And there were still 60 hardy people that stayed there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
stayed
So-
there. I don't know why, but I remember the stagehands with brooms trying to push
knocking
the
the water
water off the thing that's over the stage, and it just kept collecting there. And it was, let me tell you, as a musician, that it's kind of a scary thing because you have all these wires and you have electricity and water, and it doesn't really go well together. You
We
know?
had a jam at the Rock with Joe Louis Walker was playing, and with Deanna and Lance, and it was an absolutely fabulous show. And it was raining like that. And the Rock, they had extended it out with a tent, and between the tent and the roof there was a leak.
Oh boy.
And the whole floor was wet, just like you're talking about. We finally stopped the show. We finally had to stop the show.
Yeah. That's too bad, but now they have a permanent extension there. So next time, who
And then
knows?
they took the tent that they did some of the BCP stuff with.
The
and
tent? Yeah, it was
and
our
they-
theater.
They set it up,
Yeah.
connected to the building like it was for the jams before.
It was they set the tent up actually right in between the restaurant and the hotel. But they also set up an auxiliary tent for cocktails and snacks.
Right.
So yeah, the BCP is going to be there again this year, late in August, and we'll have more fun there. But enough about that. It's you that we like to talk
Well,
about.
this is all connected. It's
It
all
is.
related.
It's
to it.
true.
It's the whole. It's the culture, music culture in Boquete.
The Lowrider
Yeah.
Band, by the way, was fantastic,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Lee Oscar, of course.
The Oscar.
I mean,
but everybody that comes is just amazing. I mean, you can't.
And
It's hard.
I started to tell the story how initially we couldn't get anybody to come.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, it would be nobody knew about it.
Yeah.
I have a friend who was the president of the National Blues Foundation. In 2013, he invited me to go to sit at the head table at the Blues Music Awards. So I'm sitting at the head table at the Blues Music Awards with him and his wife and me and this other lovely lady. And the lady sitting next to me and I shared a passion for 1800 tequila.
Okay.
So we're drinking tequila, and I'm telling her all about Boquete. You know, I'm thrilled to death about Boquete. And this young girl gets up on stage, and she just receives this Blues Music Award, and she comes walking down in front of the head table, and this lady looks up and said, "Shakura, next year you're going to Panama."
Oh,
And
wow.
she looks at her and says, "Yes, Mom."
Oh, that's
Fantastic.
a great
So
story.
that's how we got. That's how we started with her, and we got Deanna Bogart, and we've got Little Ed, and that was
Little Ed.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
the first year we had all of those people down
How
here.
cool, man. How cool.
Oh, Little Ed happened to be on that cruise that I mentioned earlier. He
he-
was great. He was fantastic.
great performer.
Yeah.
He's-
Yeah.
I need to bring him back, but he doesn't like the mountains.
Come on, Little Ed.
Yeah.
These are not really
Anyway, we
huge
only have a
mountains.
couple more minutes, so What do you want to tell people about ticket availability, things like that?
Tickets are available. We do have tickets available. They're going quickly. We've sold out a number of events. You can get a hold of. You can go to BoqueteJazzandBluesFestival.com, everything together, or you can go to the Facebook page. We also have an app, which you should have all the information in the world that you want to know about is in that app.
I have the app. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very simple and concise.
It's really, really nice.
So we're talking about, let me see if I have the dates right. March 17th,
Right.
18th, and 19th.
Correct.
Okay.
Except that we're going to be doing something. We're going to be doing a jam March 16th.
Okay, there's going to be a jam on March 16th. The festival begins the 17th, goes to the 19th, 17th, 18th, 19th. You're going to see some great musicians. You have, it's called the Boquete Jazz and Blues Festival. If you're in town, please don't miss it. You're gonna regret it. You're gonna have big regrets if you miss this festival.
Regrets.
One last thing, which I've been doing since 2018. I've been trying to include visual art in the festival. I want it to be, Boquete Music and Arts Festival, and I've got this year. We have a art critic, a art historian coming from Slovenia.
Ooh, cool.
This is being coordinated through the Ministry of Culture in both republics. She's coming down here to talk about the work of a guy by the name of Miro Stratic. He has, he's a Slovenian national treasure, and we have about 30 of his paintings. Okay, and we're going to put those up.
Cool.
But for you people that know Chrissy Hawanko, she's coming from the beach. She does some absolutely beautiful work.
Okay.
And we've got the lady coming from Canada who does sculpturing, and her sculptures are really unique. I can't tell you much about the history because I'm not an art guy myself, but on the app, the history of all of those people and the examples of their work is on the app.
Okay.
You can go to the app, and that show is going to be from 4 to 6 on Thursday evening.
Okay, the art show.
The art show.
Oh, that's going to be fantastic.
Thursday
Another
evening, 4 to
dimension.
6.
We're adding wine and cheese. It's going to be.
Of course you
Of course we
are.
are.
Oh, man.
John is not going to have an event without wine or
No,
cheese
that's
or
right.
alcohol or something.
Something fun.
All right, John Wolf, thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
both.
joining
Thank you
us
for having
so
us.
much.
on the weekend kickoff. And good luck with the festival. We'll see you. It's just about a month from now.
We'll see you all there.
So it's going to
Exactly a
kick
month.
off exactly a month.
from
Exactly a
today.
month.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
So
right, buddy.
thank you, John. And don't forget our sponsor. We're talking about
Big
Big Daddy's
Daddy's.
Grill. And now you can get what?
Donuts and bagels. Yeah.
And
Cinnamon
rolls.
That's right.
And coffee for 79 cents, maybe.
Where
we
can you
think.
get that?
Where can you get that?
You can't even get that
You
here
can't get
anymore.
that.
No.
Plus, later on in the afternoon, you want your fix of boom, boom chicken, boom, boom shrimp.
Yeah, boom boom donuts.
Boom,
no,
boom.
wait.
What?
I don't know if they have that.
Boom, boom
but
donuts. Hey, you know what? That sounds pretty good right now.
It does.
Boom,
Okay.
boom donuts.
One order of boom boom donuts coming up, please. Just real quick.
Yes.
We're gonna get to our next guest here, but
We are.
I just wanted to say, just real quick. John's left the building now. I can say this. I've been privileged to see some of the best legendary musicians in some of the most amazing venues.
Yes.
Almost anywhere. Red Rocks, the Hollywood Bowl, Ravinia. And I saw Miles Davis at the Hollywood Bowl, amongst others. I can't say I've ever seen a better show anywhere than here in Boquete.
Well, I said it before. The Boquete Jazz and Blues Festival is one of the main factors of why I moved to Boquete.
Yeah.
The other one,
The theater.
a kosher,
Oh.
a kosher theater,
A kosher.
kosher bakery, and a theater.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I
Those
know.
three things.
It's nirvana. It's the nexus of perfection.
I know.
It's
I
the
know.
perfectus nexus.
I can't even say that,
I know.
Patrick.
Yeah,
But
we-
let's welcome our next guest, who actually has. She's going to tell us what connection she has with the BCP and theater and
Yes.
everything. Amy De La Zerda. Did I say that right, Amy? Please
Pretty
get
well,
close
yes.
to the microphone.
Yes, you were pretty close to it.
Pretty close.
De La
Okay.
Zerda, yes.
De La Zerda.
Della Zerda.
De La
De La
Zerda.
Zerda.
De La
De La
Zerda.
Zerda.
Okay.
My
De La
husband
Zerda.
says it better.
All right.
I was Amy Young. That was easy.
Oh, that is easy. Oh, why did you bring that up? Now I'm going to be,
Young
Della
Deserta.
Zerta.
No, Della Zerta.
A young
Yes.
dessert.
Ooh.
Wow, you can
Ooh.
see how easily you can get us off track. You know.
We're all ADHD in my house, so
Okay.
you know,
All
we
right.
can go down as many rabbit holes as you want to.
I can never
And
get to
Amy-
the second
Amy
T.
has brought along
This is my son Ian,
Ian.
and
Hi,
he's
Ian.
part of the.
Get close to the microphone, Ian.
Hello, hello.
We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
He's part of the BPAC, the BPAC,
Yes.
which stands for the Boquete Performing Arts Conservatory.
Right.
Yes.
So we're under the.
I notice how
BCP.
everybody pauses when they say it. It's so like hard.
Well,
Boquete, performing
You gotta,
arts,
yeah. We have so many
conservatory.
initials.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you got to get them right.
And I think that's one reason we just go by BPAC.
Yeah.
Back. Yeah.
And-
Easy.
Yes.
Be
And
back-
usually the teens after it always add the bzzz.
Be back.
So,
Oh yeah, that's cool.
so
Soon
yeah.
you'll just be going. Bzzz. Are you part of? Bzzz?
That would work.
Yeah.
That would work. We don't have to think about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the BPAC is it's been around a little longer. We joined it last year.
Okay.
So we've only been here a year and a half in
Okay.
Boquete.
Okay. What brought you to Boquete?
So there were a couple of things. This is what I always tell my English students when they ask also. I teach English online, and they always
Okay.
ask me, why Panama? And so I'll give you that kind of answer. My parents moved down here.
Really?
And they moved down about 8 months before we did. But my mom had a dream, and she told my dad, she said, I think if Trump wins, we need to leave the country. And then she said, and if Biden wins, we need to leave the country. And I was like, well,
That's pretty much
that-
how I
okay,
feel.
so you're
Whoever
leaving
wins,
the
I'm
country.
leaving the country.
We're all right. We're good.
Yeah.
And so my dad had been in Guatemala for years off and on.
Mm-hmm.
And then he
Searching for gold.
no, he was a missionary, and so he decided.
Okay.
But my mom said, "I'm not moving to Guatemala, so
Okay.
let's keep looking." And
For gold.
for
No.
gold, yes. And so she and I were researching, and I said, "Well, my husband and I had been talking about trying someplace
Yeah.
new. You know, I'd been working for 20 years at the same the college, and I loved it. But
Where was that? Just out of curiosity.
Weeki Wachee, Florida.
Weeki
Weeki
Wachee,
Wachee?
Florida.
Yes.
Is that where they have like alligator shows or something?
Mermaids.
Mermaid shows.
Mermaids, yes.
Yeah.
And they used to film the original Tarzan there.
Oh,
no
wow.
kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been a question on Jeopardy.
No kidding.
Yes.
What's the
Wow.
wackiest name of a town in Florida?
Yeah.
No, they said where. I think the question was, this town has live mermaids.
What is Weeki Wachee?
Yes.
I got
Yes.
it. Alex, I'd like other Florida oddities for 400, please.
Well, we all know there's a lot of Florida oddities. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite superhero, Florida Man.
Florida
Yes.
man.
Yes.
Let me do your lawn.
And then
fight
set
the
myself
hurricane.
on fire. Yes.
So my husband's Bolivian, and I did not want to go to Bolivia either because
Searching for gold. No, you didn't want to do that.
No.
That's the last time I'll say that, okay?
You can keep saying.
All
it. It's a
right,
nice-
I like it.
That might
I
be
like
my
it.
new catchphrase.
Yeah.
I'm Amy De La Zerta,
Searching for gold.
So we came down after my parents moved here. We came down and spent about a month, and I said, "Yeah, let's do this."
Wow.
You know,
You're an adventurer.
I
You
am.
know what you
a
should
safe-
be doing?
searching.
Yeah.
For gold. Actually, I'm a safe adventurer. I let my parents move first.
Good.
Yeah, I know.
Waters.
I'm like, listen, I'm not going off all by myself. So
All right, I take that back, actually. Let my parents go and see if it's okay.
my mom and dad are going. I can't be by myself.
You guys okay? Did you get malaria? Do you have all your fingers still? How about those piranha?
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. I think people were like, "You're gonna move to Panama? What about drugs?" And I'm like, "I teach college students. If I want drugs, I can get drugs."
Yeah, right.
You know, they're like, "What about violence?" Again, the United States.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
That's true.
So, and I have never felt any type of fear anything
Oh
here.
no, absolutely.
Sometimes driving in the rain.
Well, that could be a little dicey.
Yeah.
But
So we moved here June of 2021, and because I have 2 teenage boys with me, my daughter stayed in the U.S. She's an adult. We quickly started trying to find other families to meet up
Sure.
with, and not long after that, Rhonda had posted something. Rhonda
Oh
Johnson.
no, you met up with the Johnsons.
Johnsons.
Yes. And I think one of my favorite things about the Johnsons is, and I've said this to her, I never feel like I have to be anything other than what I am. And I don't have to tell my kids before we go, don't talk about this. Don't say this.
Absolutely.
Don't be yourself.
No.
Try to act normal.
Yeah.
We never have to say that.
Yeah.
So
We've always, we always taught our kids that's the hallmark of a good relationship. You feel like you be yourself, your total self around your partner or your proposed partner.
Yes.
If the answer is yes, you got a good shot at it.
yes, if you feel like you, and when we had met some people that I was constantly like, don't do this, don't do that. And then I said, why am I doing this? This
Right.
is wrong for them.
Right.
It's wrong for me.
Right.
Yeah, look at this kid. He's so well behaved. He's so quiet. He's sitting there.
The nervousness
great.
is taking hold.
Yeah, well, it's okay to be nervous.
Don't be nervous because,
I didn't leave my house till I was 24.
oh, yeah.
Because
wouldn't.
no, I did.
It was,
Oh, I was going to say, because you needed to be with your mom and dad.
No, because they told me be yourself. Myself. I can't be myself.
and his parents moved at one point when he was a youngster.
Right, they
And
did.
it took 6 months for him to find out
Yeah,
where.
they didn't tell me where they went. That would have been nice, Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
You know.
Turns out they moved to Panama.
Yeah, they moved to Panama.
you
How do you think I
found
got
them.
here?
Yeah. Wow.
So
So you got involved. You met the Johnson family.
yes.
You got involved with a variety of activities, and then you got
Sucked
in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best. I think one of the best things about, and I was talking to another friend who has kids here, and we were both saying how our kids have really blossomed since we've moved here.
Nice.
Part of it is because everything grows in Boquete.
Yeah.
I like
my kids
that.
have put, both of them have grown literally like
Literally.
7 inches.
Really?
Me too.
Yeah.
Only it's
Wow.
I know. So
What are you eating, Ian? What's going on here? You're growing so much. Is it
a lot of-
empanadas? A diet of strict empanadas or what?
Lot of eggs.
A lot of eggs.
Lot of
Oh,
eggs.
yeah,
E
you
can
double
afford them
GS.
here.
Yeah.
and
yeah.
the eggs are the best
I
anywhere.
love eggs too.
I love them.
Especially the with sausages and peppers.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
So,
You're a
yeah.
breakfast guy. I love breakfast.
It's our favorite
Ian,
deal.
we have to do breakfast
Yeah.
sometime.
We
I
do.
just love it.
Yeah.
It's my favorite meal of the day.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So good.
But we were talking with my other friend, and she said the same thing. But we were trying to figure out why we feel our kids have really flourished here. And I think one of the things is we've been able to step back from the constant activities that kids do in the United States. I've got to have them signed up
Yes.
for this, and now we've got to go to soccer, and now we've got this and that and this,
Right.
and on top of sometimes school, they homeschooled in the U.S. and they homeschool here, but you've just got all of these things that are constantly, and we've been able to relax.
Right.
It's a lot more or a lot less structured. So you have, if somebody calls and says, hey, do you want to have a cookout Thursday at 1? Well, sure.
Yes,
Why
I
not?
do.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
I do.
Oh,
I'll bring
you
my
were just-
board.
that was an
No, you can
example.
come over. He's the one
I
that
actually
grills
thought
for
you were
us.
inviting us, but okay.
So right
fine.
after this, we
You'll
will
grill
have
some
it.
sausages for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get those eggs on the grill.
I make a mean
Whatever.
pork.
He does.
Oh, yeah?
He's
Yeah.
really good at pork chops.
Good and juicy.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So, but with, it's nice to be relaxed, but you still need to have some involvement in things. And I think, I'm starting to get more involved with BCP and other things going around.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
So,
and
so
we're
you are involved with BPAC, right?
Yes.
And what do you do for BPAC?
I sit and watch.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Designated audience.
Yeah.
Are
Yes,
you sure you want to be
every
that
time.
involved?
I helped with the costumes. I try to create things. I do a lot of crafting, and so I'll make things that we can sell or fundraise and
Yeah.
the costumes. I'm like,
I heard you
know
made
what
an
we could
egg
do?
cozy for Ian. Is that true or not?
So we can drop them off the roof and see if they survive.
So they survive.
Yeah.
How fun is that?
So we do I get involved, and whenever Rhonda calls and says, "Hey, I need you to do this," I say, "Okay."
Yeah, Rhonda calls, you got to answer.
Oh, right.
There's
Just yes,
no
I'll
choices
do
there.
that. That's all right. I'm doing it.
Yes, Rhonda.
Yes.
So Ian, let's talk to Ian for a bit.
Oh.
Ian, you were part of the show.
Yes.
Were you not?
I was part of the show.
How was that experience for you?
So at first I was excited, and then the nervousness got hold.
Yeah.
But I didn't let that control me, so I did my best. I really tried my best.
Was that your first theater experience?
No, I did one once when I was little, but I don't think that went as I remembered it. So
Really?
Because
Yeah.
you were little.
yeah,
You remember the standing ovation and the flowers being thrown, right?
exactly.
Yeah, I remember that too. That never happened.
So what did you do in the production from the last season, the last theatrical season?
Well, I was Shrek and my brother was Donkey. We tried to be funny.
Yeah,
You were
Yeah.
funny.
you
All right.
did a pretty good job of
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. It was a lot of work trying to get my lines down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Practicing running them over and over again, and then realizing, oh wait, I've been pronouncing this wrong for the past half hour and such, and it's a really big effort, to
You
try
were
to
pronouncing Shrek wrong? Or?
Yeah, I kept saying shriek.
So yeah.
Well, this year you're going to be so much better because you're going to be in something. We don't know what yet, but we know you're going to be in something.
Definitely.
And we're going to go over all of the comedy stuff with you. And when you get on the stage this year, you're going to feel like you were born on the stage under the spotlight. All right?
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
So this year they're doing Motown.
Yeah.
Yes, we
So
are.
Yeah.
we're doing Motown, and we're kind of Rhonda has told me, because I'm already starting to think, well, how are we going to dress? So it's not so. Let's go to the thrift store and find if anybody's donated things from the 60s and 70s and 80s. And so we're going. She's kind of talked about some of the things she wants to do. They've already started. We started last week learning dances.
Yeah.
And if people still want to join, there's plenty of time. It's not going
Sure.
to be in until September
Absolutely.
or October, depending. At this point, I think it's scheduled for September, but
Nothing is written in stone.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're hoping for a little bit earlier of a start, maybe a couple of weeks or so, but it all depends on everybody else's
Yeah.
schedules, and who knows,
Yeah. I think if nothing else, COVID has taught us, don't put anything in stone.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen.
really?
Yeah.
It's all right. I remember when I graduated from college and I was interviewing for my first job, and they asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I had it planned out exactly. Now people say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Who knows? 5 years ago, I didn't see myself in Panama.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years. I'm not sure where I'll be tomorrow.
Wherever the day's
Yeah.
going to take me
Yeah.
by then.
Well, I
That's
think
where-
the pandemic has changed everybody's thinking because, nobody could have known that was going to happen. And it affected, just like we talked to John Wolfe, it affected the festival. It affected everyone on the planet.
Yeah.
Every single person on the planet. I felt so bad. I'm in my late 60s, so I've lived a lot of my life. I have a lot of experience. But for kids who had to put their life on hold for 2 years, basically, or longer than 2 years, I mean, that had to be horrible. It was kind of like going through a war or something like that lasted for years. It was. Did you feel that way, Ian?
It was definitely torturous for going to soccer and then suddenly going to events and such, and then suddenly just having to pause and wait and just be in your home. Can't really, you felt like you couldn't escape. It was definitely torturous, especially with my ADHD. But eventually you got used to it, Very
difficult.
Yeah.
I remember when it started. I think it was March of 2020. And I'm also a musician, and Patrick and I we're involved with the BCP and the Motown show, and but I was playing in a band, and we had a gig for whatever that Saturday night was. It was like the 12th or the 4th, I can't remember, but and we're looking forward to this gig. Everything shut down just before that. It was like no gig, and then I remember thinking, oh, okay, it's going to be like this for a couple of weeks, It'll be like this for a couple of weeks. The virus will, leave, dissipate.
Yeah.
Everybody will be fine. I didn't realize that 3 months later, we're going to be wearing masks, getting injections, and
you can't leave your house.
Temperature. Yeah, you can't leave your house on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Sunday, and walking into a foot bath and having your temperature taken and all these things. Which, by the way, and I applaud Panama because they took very strict measures.
Very strict.
Even more so. I have a daughter in Raleigh, North Carolina, and she couldn't believe what we were doing here that they were not doing in the United States. And I just yesterday somebody said that they were exposed to COVID. Like, it's still here,
It's still here, yeah.
It's still here.
The-
I have a couple of friends just got over it again.
I know. Come on.
The majority of my students are from China. And December and January, the entire country was. That's okay. But they'd come online, and I'd answer and say, "Hey, oh," and they're like, "I have COVID," and I wanted to turn off the computer and spray everything down. I knew I wasn't going to get it, but still, there's that moment of.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we did with our groceries. If you remember
Yes.
when it first
Wiped
started,
them all
we're
down, absolutely.
washing everything, taking showers.
Yeah.
It was so crazy.
It's like the Andromeda strain,
Yeah,
One of those.
yeah.
We were camping with our homeschool
yeah.
group, and I was on spring break, and all of a sudden I get this note, we're going to extend spring break 1 week. And I'm like, yeah, nice. So in 2 weeks, we'll go back to school. I never went back. I ended up leaving after, they were finally
Yeah.
opening up the college again. And I said, well, I'm moving to Panama. But yeah, I thought.
We had to plan going to the grocery store like a military operation.
Oh, yeah.
We went. I had a Panamanian girlfriend at the time, and we wanted to go to El Rey in David, and you could only go, certain hour. And we're like, let's go at this time. Because there were
You only have
lines,
2 hours.
and you had to be
Yeah.
like 3 meters apart, and you had to plan, and so finally we get into the store, and everybody's walking around like looking at everybody else very suspiciously, And I remember we got to the produce section, and I heard somebody sneeze or cough, and I jumped up, help! What's going on?
Like gunshots.
I know. It's
It's
like, hit the floor!
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Danger! And then it was my girlfriend who coughed, or
I know during allergy season and COVID, you cough and
yeah.
you're like, it's allergies.
Yeah,
I
right.
promise. That's
Right.
all it is. So, yes.
Yeah, the adventures. But you know what? Being locked down here for me was great because I didn't have to do anything or go anywhere or see anybody.
Well, you know what? We do that like little checklist. Do you have food? Yes. Do you have water? Yes. Do you have a roof over your head? You're doing good.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
Okay.
And
the like you said, the precautions here were so incredible. I mean, I think we had one of the lower rate of infection per capita. So we did everything. I followed every protocol. I still follow the protocols. When I go on a plane, I wear a mask, even if others don't. And then in Los Angeles in August, I got COVID. And it damn near killed me because it was just so nasty.
it is nasty.
Enough about
COVID.
Just one more thing.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out. Some guy waved to me in Alto Dorado. I don't know who it is. I'm sorry. I waved back because he had the mask on. All the gringos had the mask on, and like you're saying, they all look alike. It's like we all look alike. So I'm like, hello? I don't know who you are, but hello. I might know if you do it, but we can't take it off. So
There was a cool company for a while that you take a picture of your face and they put the bottom part of it on the mask.
Yeah.
So it looked like you.
Yeah.
Only kind of a
But then other people could get it.
freakish version.
Yeah.
Yeah, then everybody was looking like me.
Yeah. We don't want that.
Amy, I got a question.
Yes.
Abruptly changing the subject. You were involved in the previous Broadway show. Will you tell us a little bit about that? Because I thought that was one of the cooler things I've seen.
Thank you. So Rhonda found out that I know American Sign Language. And so she said, would you sign a song? And so I say yes way too often. I've really got to work on that.
Let me write that down.
Yeah.
Amy says yes.
I do. And so I said, sure, why not? And she told me the song, and I love Barbara Streisand, so I was like, oh, okay. And Memories, because it combined with Cats.
From Cats,
yes. And I used to, because I took American Sign Language in college. That was the language I chose. It's much easier to learn than Spanish.
Wow.
I still sign sometimes when I'm trying to get things across.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot of acting when I have to go to stores by myself.
Don't
I
play
put on
deaf with her.
I
It
put
won't
on a
work.
whole stage show to try to figure out to get people to figure out what I need. But she asked if I would do it, and I said, okay, I don't know if anybody will understand at all
Right.
what I'm saying. But the nice thing or one of the amazing things about American Sign Language, or any type of sign language, it really is a beautiful expression and a beautiful language. And we did have people coming up afterwards saying, oh, my parents were deaf, or, I studied sign language in school or whatever, and I really appreciate you doing this. So even though there was nobody singing with it, and usually when I've signed in the past, somebody's singing, so the hearing people understand and the deaf people understand. I don't think we had any deaf audience members at any point.
I don't think so.
But
I know there are a couple of citizens
right.
That are hearing impaired. But anyway, it was such a cool, elegant element to add.
It was, yes.
To this performance. And, on the stage, the black curtains behind you, I just thought that was a very cool thing. We need to get more of that. So you said American Sign Language, right? Are there other sign languages?
Every country has their own sign language.
Okay.
So if I go...
Or every language. Is it every language?
No.
Or every country?
So Panama's sign language would be different than Colombia.
Really?
And it may be similar, but even if... Like, I learned sign language in Florida. If I spoke to somebody in Washington, they're like, oh, you have an accent.
Oh,
you
interesting.
have a funny accent.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
Funny sign
where'd you
language
learn
accent.
your accent? Yes. And they're like, so they understand. And now it's closest to.
Because in the South, they say y'all.
Y'all,
Y'all.
yeah.
What's the
Y'all.
sign for y'all?
I don't know.
G-
All
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah, I'd finger spell it, I guess. But because there also is signed English, which is every single word signed. But with American Sign Language, it's a whole different language that isn't even grammatically. I taught public speaking. But
This is the English teacher.
yeah,
Let's remind everyone.
That's one word I never used. And I would tell my students, I'm like, I don't know how to say this word. They're like, what word? Or I can't say this. And they're like, is it a bad word? No, it's grammatically. I physically can't say it. But it's set up more like, you set up the person, you're like, building over there?
Uh-huh.
I'll go to, so
Okay.
it's not even the same setup as English would be.
Interesting.
So it is.
So it has different grammar than spoken English. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. And I know some people were like, oh, I have some, I work with some deaf people here. Maybe you can talk to them. And I'm like, there's some words that are probably going to be the same. Drink,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much baby. Those are words all over. But
Right.
You know, if like dog is D-O-G and you just do it fast like you're snapping.
Oh.
Dog isn't spelled the same in Spanish, so it's not
I
going to
bet
be.
I bet Italian sign language is really cool because they speak with their hands anyway, you know. So
Yeah,
it's
but
got
it's
to
all
be
shouting.
Yeah.
a lot of emphasis.
It's all uppercase.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh man!
You know.
Wow.
All right. Well, what a great show. Thank you, Amy, Ian, for being on the show.
Yes.
We've
Well,
had
thank
hope
you
you had
for
a great
inviting
time.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
be. I'm sure we'll have you back when we get closer to the Motown show. you
Absolutely.
know.
We'll be promoting and having people and of your like yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And,
going to be a phenomenal show.
It
Last year
is.
was incredible. And
Oh,
I
this is
think we
gonna be
just
even-
even learned more,
Yeah.
and we're ready to
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
take it up a notch.
You're through the
Tell
looking
me
glass.
about it.
Yeah.
Tell him.
And I want to thank, of course, John Wolf. He's the showrunner, the guy, the
He
jefe.
is.
Of,
He is the showrunner
yeah,
of
of
the
the
Jazz and Blues
Boquete Jazz
Festival.
Blues Festival.
Yeah.
Starts in 1 month. It's going to
I'm
kick
so
off
honored.
on the 16th.
Actually, they decided to start it on our wedding anniversary.
Oh, of course.
March
I'm
17th,
sure they
yeah.
had that in mind.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah. All right. And as always, we want to thank Big Daddy's Grill
Yes, and Donut Shop.
and Donut Shop and
Yeah.
Coffee Shop
coffee.
and Boom Boom
Boom
Chicken
Boom
and
Coffee Donuts.
Shrimp Shop.
Cinnamon rolls now. And
Cinnamon
bagels.
rolls.
I know.
Yeah.
Don Kike bagels, in fact. They're
Yeah.
delicious.
I mean, there's no end
You
to
had
the fine things you can find there at
There's no
Big
end.
Daddy's.
You can find everything from Boom Boom Shrimp to Boom Boom Chicken.
and
Big Daddy's.
everything in between.
Oh, and their margaritas are delicious.
Yes,
they got
they
that
are,
that
they are.
chili powder on the rim
Yeah.
with the salt there. Oh, so tasty.
And they have a lot of
Not for
they
you,
have a lot
Ian.
of- yeah. Oh, Ian knows about the margaritas? What?
I know about sugar rims.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, Patrick, great day here in Boquete,
Here in Music Paradise.
Music Paradise.
Yeah.
I am so looking forward to. I'm getting to play this year.
I know,
at the
that's gonna be
Blues and Jazz
outstanding.
Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big honor for me.
Man,
You know,
it's going to be great.
I can't believe it. I'm so much looking forward to it.
Yeah.
To be one of the musicians, you know.
Yeah.
And thank you, John Weeks. John Weeks is gonna.
Oh, man.
is gonna be here.
Yeah.
You know?
John's from my hometown, Aurora, Colorado.
Yeah. And we're playing with Denzel and Eduardo on bass.
Ah, fabulous.
Yeah.
It's
We
I
put
mean,
together a great band.
there's nothing but all-star bands here. Okay?
Oh yeah.
If I
yeah.
could just
And really, folks, if you don't know about the Boquete Jazz and Blues Festival, you should try and get some tickets. Score some tickets if you can, because it's like a one in a. Well, we were just talking about the pandemic. This could be a once in a lifetime opportunity to see some of the best blues jazz musicians in the world.
The world.
Okay? And I'm not talking about myself, of course. I'm talking about these other guys, you know, these other men and women who are just international blues and jazz stars. So once again, I want to thank you, Patrick.
Thank you,
all
Michael.
our guests for joining us here on the Weekend Kickoff.
kick off.